Hi everyone, my name is Liz Muller, and in today's video we'll be baking banana bread. So I'll start by showing you the ingredients. So the first thing that we have is 2 cups of all-purpose wheat flour. We have this parchment paper, and of course, because you're baking a banana bread, of course we need bananas. So the reasons why I put these 2 kinds of bananas is because I want to tell you something about banana bread. If you're baking a banana bread, use them over ripened bananas, the ones that are turning black, dark brown or black. These ones, they are really moist inside, and your banana bread comes out very moist. But if you use these ones, the ones that are, they look like they're yummy or fresh, of course you'll bake a banana bread, but it won't be as moist as a cake baked using these bananas. So that was the main reason as to why I put these 2 bananas here. So these are the bananas that you're going to use, and some of them I've already peeled them. They're here, so we can peel this one also and put it here. Okay, sorry. So we also have cinnamon, we have salt, we have some raisins, others call them dried grapes. We have sugar, this is just the normal white sugar, and then baking powder, and of course 2 eggs. So we'll start by, first of all, and of course, sorry, I forgot to show you this. We have some melted butter here. So we'll begin by preheating this oven. We'll preheat it at 240 degrees Celsius at for 20 minutes or 10 minutes. So while the oven is preheating, we will grease our baking pan. So put some vegetable cooking oil, just a little amount of it, and then just try and spread it across the your baking tin or pot, whatever you're going to use. You will now spread the parchment paper on the baking pot, and in case you do not have the parchment paper, you can sprinkle some little amount of wheat flour to dust, so that the wheat flour goes on top of the vegetable cooking oil. You will now take a fork and try and mash the bananas. Sometimes I do use a blender, so you can either use a fork to mash the bananas, or you can also put them in a blender and blend them so that you get a smooth mixture. But now when you blend it, remember you'll have to put some minimum amount of water so that it's easily breakable into the blender. But when you use a fork, there is no need of adding water, as you've seen what I've done. You will take a teaspoon and measure about half of a teaspoon of baking powder and put it in the bowl that has your wheat flour. You will also measure another half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Actually, cinnamon has a very nice taste when you use it in baking your cake. So I love using cinnamon in my cakes. I will put also some salt, about a quarter or slightly more than a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. And if you've noticed, those are basically our dry ingredients. We'll try and mix them together using a sieve. So we'll pass those dry ingredients through the sieve into another empty bowl. Sorry if you hear some background noise, my baby is busy making some noises. So as I was saying, you'll try and pass the dry ingredients through the sieve into the other empty bowl. You will now take an empty bowl. You will then put your mashed ripe bananas into that particular bowl. And after you've put in your mashed bananas into the bowl, you can now go ahead and put in your sugar. So as you will see, I used 1 cup of the normal white sugar, and then these are the measuring cups that I used. So this pink one is 1 cup. So I measured 1 cup of sugar, put it into the bowl that has the mashed bananas. And remember, you can put sugar to your liking. If you don't love, or if you don't like a lot of sugar, you will put less sugar. If you love more sugar, you will put more sugar. So after you've put in your sugar, you will take a whisk, a hand whisk, and mix the sugar into the bananas. As I was mixing the banana and the sugar, I remembered that I had some vanilla essence in the house. So you will put about a teaspoon of vanilla essence, and remember that vanilla essence is purely optional. It's not a must for you to have it in your cake, but I love having that vanilla kind of taste in my cake. So you will put just about a teaspoon of vanilla essence and continue stirring. Once the mixture is well put together, you will break your 2 eggs in the mixture and still mix it. After you've mixed the 2 eggs into the mixture, or after you've put your 2 eggs into the mixture, you'll put in your butter in that mixture and give it a really good mix. You will make sure it's well mixed, and then now this is the point that we add in our dry ingredients. You remember the dry ingredients that we had passed through the sieve? So we will add like half of the flour into the wet ingredients. Make sure you mix them very well. You can even use a mixer, but I don't have a mixer. I used a whisk. So that is what I'm using to make sure that the mixture blends very well. Once that the first batch of the flour is mixed, as you will see, then I will put in the second batch, the second half, and then continue mixing, putting the mixture together, trying to blend in the mixture together. Now at this point, this mixture is ready to go into the oven, but you can add something that you like. If you like raisins like me, you can include a few raisins into that mixture and mix it, and then now put it into the oven. If you don't have raisins and you have chocolate chips, you can also do the same. You can put a few pieces of chocolate chips and then bake with them. Remember that the raisins are completely optional. They are not a must. You can bake your cake without the raisins. You can bake without the chocolate chips. So whatever I am adding, or whatever you will add from this point, is actually optional, and you are not tied to using those two products. We will now put this mixture into our baking pot. Remember the pot that we had layered with some vegetable cooking oil and then with baking paper. So that is the pot that you're going to use. So we will put in our mixture into that baking pot, and then put the baking pot into the already preheated oven. Sorry if you see me opening my mouth, I was talking to someone in the background. So after putting the mixture into the baking pot, I decided to add a few more raisins on top of that mixture. So that's what you've seen me do. So this is the mixture that we're now going to put into the already preheated oven, and then bake for about 55 minutes at a temperature of now 180 degrees Celsius. So we'll bake for 55 minutes, and in case in those 55 minutes, in case in the 55 minutes the cake is not fully baked, we will continue adding more minutes. So at this point, we are going to now reduce our temperature from 240 degrees Celsius that we used for preheating and reduce it to 180 degrees Celsius, and then increase our timer to 55 minutes. So see you in the next 55 minutes. This is 55 minutes later. The timer has just gone off, indicating that my 55 minutes are up. And as you can see, I want to check if the cake is ready. I am going to use a toothpick. If I insert the toothpick into the cake and it comes off with some wetness or some things attached to it, I will know that my cake is not yet ready. But if I insert and it comes out dry, that will be a clear indication that my cake is ready. So as for this particular cake, at this particular time, I inserted the toothpick and it didn't come out dry. So that is a clear indication that the cake is not yet fully baked. So I added 5 minutes, and in those 5 minutes, we'll now check again and see if the cake is ready. After the 5 minutes that we've added, I'm back to see whether the cake is now ready. Please be very careful so that you don't burn your hands. I almost burnt my hands at this particular point. So I've taken a toothpick. I will use the toothpick again to see whether my cake is cooked or not. The same procedure applies. I will insert the toothpick into the cake. If it comes out dry, that will be an indication that our cake is cooked. And as you've seen, the toothpick came out dry, which is a clear indication that our cake is ready. Wow! From the look of things, it already looks amazing. I hope you can see that. So we'll remove the cake from the oven, and then we will let it sit for about 15 minutes so that at least it cools off. Then after the cooling, we can remove it from the baking pot. See you in the next 15 minutes. Now this is 15 minutes later, and our cake has cooled off. It is safe for us to remove it from the tin, from the baking tin, because it is not hot. So we'll first remove it from the baking tin, and then also remove the parchment paper that we put at the beginning of the video. But as you can see, the tin is almost clean, save for the vegetable oil that we put at the beginning of the video. Now, as I remove the parchment paper, you can see that the cake was evenly cooked. You see, the top and the bottom are almost similar. So the cake was evenly cooked, and now you cannot see the inside, but I ate it. By the time I'm shooting this, I'm uploading this video, the cake is over. It's nowhere to be found in the house. So it was really delicious. So we will cut and taste it. Just have a look at it. The inside was well cooked. It had the spaces and it was yummy too. So stay tuned for the next video and I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye. Kindly try this recipe, and once you've tried, kindly tag me and please let me know how it turned out. Bye bye. See you in the next video. And if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to this channel. Bye bye and see you in the next video.